Wilson. He's hanging in there, trying to get his sea legs. Still having a hard time getting them.
I'm Jeff, that's my wife Heather, and our boat Destiny. After years of planning, we retired from our jobs, sold everything, and moved aboard our boat to explore this world and the people living in it. We're just getting started, and we invite you to join us as we travel by sea to distant lands where we'll experience new cultures, food, geography, and wildlife. Climb aboard and let's go for a sail. After safely reaching Chesapeake Bay for the 2019 hurricane season, we turned our attention to getting some work done on Destiny that would assure us of her seaworthiness. The three most important issues with any cruising sailboat, in my opinion, are to keep the mast up, to keep the seawater out, and to keep from dragging while at anchor. With that in mind, we set out on several projects. We had the mast pulled at Cobb's Marina in Norfolk, Virginia, so that Glenn Gates and Mike Brannon of Performance Rigging could replace the standing rigging. We hired Howdy Bailey Yacht Services to remanufacture our 17-year-old mufflers. We had Destiny pulled out of the water at Portsmouth Boating Center, where they replaced every single below-water through-hull fitting, installed new cutlass bearings, coated her bottom with new bottom paint, and fixed numerous other miscellaneous issues discovered by our marine surveyor Michael Graham of True Blue Marine. Destiny is also now benefiting from 6 new Trojan T105 housebank batteries, 6 new 100-watt solar panels, and a brand new 55-pound Manus M2 anchor. Is that Wilson teaching how to tie knots?
We're teaching each other.
It seemed like it took forever to finally get these projects done, but once they were completed, we untied our lines from the dock and took off to explore the Chesapeake with whatever little time remained before once again heading out into the Atlantic Ocean to sneak around Cape Hatteras.
Arrived at the Chesapeake in early September, the temperatures were comfortable and even a little warm. By the end of the month, the cooler weather started to push through, and it seemed each front brought temperatures down a little more and strong, gusty winds out of the north. We learned a couple things from our short season in the Chesapeake. Bring warmer clothes, 2 long-sleeve t-shirts didn't cut it, and don't plan on sailing during gale warnings, especially when you're headed directly into the wind. Find a nice protected anchorage and wait it out. And just because it appears to be calm where you're anchored, don't expect it to be calm in the middle of the bay. We left from Fort Monroe, Virginia on October 23rd at first light. If the weather remained good, our plan was to make it to Charleston, South Carolina for our first stop. If not, our fallback would be to head into Morehead City, North Carolina. This was the first time we'd be on a multi-day passage with just the two of us. We planned to do 3-hour watches throughout the night, and that worked out well for us. The first night watch always seems magical, especially with good weather. There are more stars than you can imagine, and it seems every time I looked up, there was a shooting star. We weren't alone in leaving the Chesapeake during this weather window. There was a group of about 8 other sailboats that left at the same time, all traveling at similar speeds and in the same direction. It was comforting to look out onto the dark night and see their lights in the distance. We tried to hug the coast as much as possible so we could avoid the opposing Gulf Stream current and stay out of the shipping channels.
We are currently sailing from Cape Hatteras to, oh wow, dolphins. Baby. So it's Friday night, about 11:30, and we're making our final approach to Charleston Harbor. We're about probably about 40 miles away or so, less than that to the sea buoy, probably about 35 miles to the sea buoy. And it's a clear night, but we know there's a storm moving in, storm front's moving in. And we've got like 20-knot winds on our stern. We're bare poles. And it's kind of a paradox because we're wanting to get into harbor as quickly as we can because we know the storm front's coming through. Yet I don't want to go through the Charleston Harbor, the channel, at nighttime. I want to wait till morning for that. And so I'm having to do everything I can to slow down. We're under bare poles. I'm running one engine at about 1,000 RPMs just to maintain steerage. But other than that, it's just the wind and the waves and the current pushing us. We're making about 4 to 4.5 knots, which is perfect actually. If we can maintain this speed and not go any faster, it'll be probably about 7:30 in the morning that we reach the sea buoy, and I'll have daylight to navigate in. But it's a clear night, it's starry, it's beautiful. It's
made it through the pass. So here is the approach to Charleston. We are hoping to anchor near the municipal docks, but it'll probably be pretty crowded, so I don't know if we'll get a spot. But it'd be nice to be close to the downtown area to go explore a little bit. Pretty day so far. I'm supposed to have some weather move in tonight, some thunderstorms and some really strong winds out of the south. That's why all the boats are tucking out of the ocean, trying to find a safe harbor for the night, because you definitely don't want to be headed into that kind of winds. Two days after dropping the anchor in the Ashley River in Charleston, we left on our final leg to St. Augustine. It was a beautiful day with blue skies and perfect temperatures. We were finally back in our shorts and t-shirts. The winds were light, so we had to motor sail to make any kind of decent time. Our boat likes at least 11 knots of wind, and we were lucky to have 5 to 7. We also had the current in our favor, so all in all, we were averaging about 7 to 8 knots over flat, calm seas. We threw a couple fishing lines out, but only caught one bonita. Hopefully, we'll have better luck in the islands. Just before dinner on our second day at sea, we pulled into the municipal marina in St. Augustine. We'll spend a couple weeks here visiting family, wrapping up several little projects, and ordering a few more things. We also need to finalize our plans for exactly where to head first in the Bahamas and what route to take.